As an update, just a note from the United Soybean Board, as they went through a new strategic plan, and they are working to partner to deliver sustainable soy solutions to everyday life and every day. And that's a good way to get started with this. Next slide. About the North Dakota Soybean Council. We are funded on checkoff, and I'll talk a little more like that. But through our checkoff dollars, we do research, market development. We communicate with not only farmers, but the general public, and do educational programs for both groups also. Next. The North Dakota Soybean Council is governed by 12-member board of directors. They're elected by soybean farmers from each district who represent that district. We're completing our elections right now for four new or for four districts. In fact, the office staff consists of Stephanie Sinner, who's our executive director, Suzanne Wolf, Director of Communications, Molly Fern, Director of Finance. I'm the Director of Research, and Jenna Burtness is Director of Marketing. And our newest member is Shireen Alamadi, Outreach and Education Coordinator. We do work with a sister organization. We're the Soybean Council, and we're established in 1985 by North Dakota soybean producers. We are the checkoff, and that's what we're funded by. Next, this North Dakota Soybean Growers is a statewide, it's a non-member driven organization that's nonprofit, and you have to join this organization. And this organization works very closely with us. And they do all the political, they go to Bismarck and Washington, D.C. and lobby on behalf of North Dakota farmers and soybean farmers. Next. Just last year, we had 7.2 million acres of soybeans in North Dakota growing, and we became the #1 crop. I think just the second time in 3 years that we were the #1 crop. The average yield was 26 bushels, which is probably pretty surprising with the drought we had this past year. And that at 26 bushels, that's about 187 million bushels. In a normal year, the average would be closer to 34 bushels, and that would produce about 245 million bushels of soybeans. Next. Of those, 90% of the soybeans are used for meal and oil, and livestock feed is the largest market for our soybeans. And 70% of the soybeans at this time are exported as whole soybeans to Southeast Asia and surrounding markets. Biodiesel and renewable fuel are driving a new demand, and with the crush facility in Spiritwood coming up, all the oil there will be sent for renewable fuel, and that will be, as it's made in renewable fuel, it'll be marketed in California. Marketing soybean meal is a new focus and opportunity for North Dakota. And the opportunities will be to expand livestock numbers in North Dakota, because we need local places. The meal will be readily available, and it provides a good opportunity for agriculture in North Dakota. As we have increased to 7.2 million acres and our rotations get shorter, we have some disease and insect issues. Soybean cyst nematode continues to expand in North Dakota. We do have a program where, through Sam Markell and his efforts, you can pull a sample, send it in at no cost to you, and you'll find out if you have soybean cyst nematode. Sudden death syndrome, Dr. Berlin Nelson confirmed this a couple of years ago. This is a devastating disease when it gets going in North Dakota or in a field. we have a lot of resources. I'm sure Sam Markel will visit about that. Frog eye leaf spot is a disease, southern states, I thought, but it showed up here and has been pretty readily found. So frog eye leaf spot is a new one. Root rots, that's an ancient old problem that we've had. Kind of gets ignored because it's out of sight, out of mind. But when you start looking and digging up plants, you find it in a lot of fields. So root rots, Phytophthora and Rhizoctonia continue to steal bushels from us. Aphids. Aphids is an older insect problem that we have, but now we know we have resistance to some of the insecticides, and we need to keep an eye on that and continue to investigate it. Soybean gall midge is a brand new midge that has been discovered. Matter of fact, we didn't even know that it existed till a couple of years ago. This midge has come as close as Minnesota and South Dakota, so we expect it to come into North Dakota. We keep monitoring. Janet Knodel is doing an excellent job of keeping the vigilance up and looking for this new pest. Next. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to take them at this time. And you can always call the soybean office if you've got research or other ideas, or just want to visit about issues in soybean world. Give us a call.